Police Service of Northern Ireland are currently in disagreement with the Northern Ireland Police Ombudsman over action to be taken against two police constables who were involved in a police chase which resulted in the death of 32-year-old Lisa Gow. The mother of two was knocked down and killed on the Ballysillan Road in Belfast shortly after dropping her children off at school by the driver of a stolen Audi as it was being pursued by two unmarked police cars. The Ombudsman looked at the evidence provided from the police dashcams and from police helicopter footage, along with listening to radio traffic between the drivers and the control room. The footage showed the lead police car was closely behind the stolen Audi at the time of the accident in April 2018. The officer in the lead car had previously assessed the pursuit to pose a medium to high risk. He issued a radio transmission stating that the pursuing police cars would pull back. Although the lead police car did so momentarily, its speed then increased and the gap between it and the Audi closed immediately before Ms. Gow was struck. An independent expert on the management of police pursuits stated that he considered both pursuing police cars had been driven in compliance with police training and driving standards. And when the drivers were interviewed, they denied the offence of driving dangerously. Of course they would. The Police Ombudsman submitted a file of evidence to the Public Prosecution Service, which subsequently directed that neither police driver should be prosecuted. However, having received the no prosecution direction from the PPS, the Ombudsman was required to consider whether any officer involved in the incident had committed any misconduct offences. The Police Ombudsman recommended that the pursuit commander, who was travelling in the lead police car, should be disciplined for failing to ensure that action was taken to mitigate the risk posed by the close pursuit. They also recommended that the driver of the lead police car should be disciplined for failing to recognise the risk in not creating space between his police vehicle and the subject vehicle when the pursuit commander assessed the risk as medium to high. But the Police Service of Northern Ireland's Professional Standards Department has disagreed with the Ombudsman's recommendations and stated that the officers involved should simply receive advice designed to improve their future performance. Management advice. Yet again, the same low value the police put on a person's life. Assistant Chief Constable for Local Policing Bobby Singleton said, "Our thoughts are first and foremost with the family and loved ones of Ms. Gow, but also with all of those who were affected by this tragic and traumatic incident." Martin Alexander Nelson, the driver of the stolen car, has since been convicted and sentenced to 11 years in prison for causing Ms. Gow's death by dangerous driving and five other offences. The Police Ombudsman's recommendations were considered against the police conduct regulations. The officers concerned subsequently received management advice. During the investigation by the Police Ombudsman, they also looked at a public complaint about a press release the PSNI put out following the tragedy, in which they stated that the pursuit was already over at the time Lisa Gow was struck by the fleeing Audi. The complainant stated that the release has caused distress and impacted on public confidence in policing. The Ombudsman concluded that the release was inaccurate and should not have been issued during the ongoing Police Ombudsman investigation. They then submitted a file to the PSNI recommending that the matter be addressed as unsatisfactory performance by the officer responsible for the post, which the PSNI accepted and implemented the recommendation. The Police Ombudsman also made a number of recommendations to police to improve the management of vehicle pursuits. These included that the Police Service of Northern Ireland should conduct inquiries to establish why a video downlink between the police helicopter and the police control room had not worked during the pursuit. They further recommended that police should conduct joint training between air support and vehicle pursuit units after their investigation found there to have been a lack of detail in the information being relayed by the helicopter crew to other police officers. Assistant Chief Constable Bobby Singleton said the Police Ombudsman found that a public statement issued by police at the time was inaccurate and should not have been issued during their ongoing investigation. Having previously apologised to the family in relation to this matter, we fully accept the Ombudsman's comments today and would reiterate our apology for the further distress this statement caused to the Gow family. and showing how little they actually care for the loss of a life or any other collateral damage caused by police for that matter. The chairman of the Police Federation for Northern Ireland, Liam Kelly, said it was abysmal that it had taken the Office of the Police Ombudsman more than 4 years to publish its report. In all that time, this entire incident has taken a heavy toll on the officers involved, he said. No account appears to have been taken of the personal distress and trauma that was involved. Yes, because the children and family of Lisa Gow were far less important than the police involved in her death, aren't they? Well, it's probably taken so long due to police wasting time, as they do in almost every instance where they might be under investigation, pushing the time limits to the extreme before complying. Now, although I have no evidence of that actually happening, it's a pretty safe bet in my book. I think this is a situation that will continue for some time, as neither the police nor the Ombudsman is going to want to back down, so I will keep an eye out for future updates.